We have the latest little things from Seth and discuss the new park logos.
And Chris takes our team to check out the Back to the Future escape room and bring you a spoiler-free review.
This is episode 551 of the Unofficial Universal Orlando Podcast. Hey everybody, what's up? Chris here, your host for today, bringing you another fantastic show. I feel like I'm always trying to hype them up, but this one's good because you're going to hear about some escape room stuff.
Some room stuff.
Some room stuff. We're going to talk about stuff today, but it's just not my voice only, right? So not joining us today because she's not here at the moment is Michelle.
Hi.
And then joining me to host or co-host is Tracy.
Hello, everyone.
And Lee.
Hello, everyone.
Oh, you should have gone with the girl voice, man.
You did.
Girl voice.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
It's not the anniversary anymore. Don't have to be nice.
Yeah.
Pulling the curtain back, we've just recorded.
We went back in time right now.
Yeah, we've just recorded our anniversary episode early with a very special guest.
Yes.
And technology was not our friend.
Oh yeah, forget it was recorded backwards.
So it might not sound as good as it normally does when that comes out in 3 weeks' time.
Neither will this one.
It was still
Maybe.
awesome. No, this one actually sounds
technology is
alright.
still not
Okay.
our friends on this episode.
No.
So if it sounds a little weird, we're just having some
Fun.
technical stuff going on, but it will be better.
Yeah, I think the battery on this laptop now is up to speed, so
The
everything's
hamster's warmed
running
up.
at full. I think that's what it is. Everything's running at full speed,
He's
so
done
it
his
sounds
stretches
alright
and now he can gallop.
So I think we should be all right. I don't think it'll be too bad, but
No.
but
Hopefully.
it should be, I think
Fingers crossed.
the content itself, I think, will outdo the lesser quality,
yeah.
and it is only lesser quality. Anyway,
It's certainly not as bad as it was when we first started.
no.
Anyway.
Well, let's move this train forward. We have a nice hefty little things with Seth.
Hey, this is Seth Kabursky. I hope you missed me while I was gone in California for a couple weeks researching the upcoming edition of the Unofficial Guides. I'm back in Orlando now, and I'm here with a long list of little things that are new to me from the Universal Orlando Resort. Lots of things happened while I was gone, starting with the rebranding of Universal Parks and Resorts to Universal Destinations and Experiences. Along with that name change came some new logos that you'll see popping up inside the Universal app and websites. It's also now a busy spring break season at Universal Orlando, with early park admission currently offered at both parks through April 8th before it returns to Islands of Adventure only. I stopped by the park on St. Patrick's Day and saw huge crowds wearing green. Of course, Pat O'Brien's at City Walk was the center for much of the celebrations. And I have a bit of sad news. My favorite dueling piano player, Todd Kimbrough, has moved on from Pat O's. We'll miss seeing him there, but there are plenty of other great entertainers tickling the ivories there. And Grad Bash is also coming up as well on March 31st and on select dates throughout April. Keep an eye on the event calendar to avoid those nights which brings large crowds of teens to the parks. And if all those crowds aren't keeping you away, then Universal's still got a great deal. Buy a 2-park 3-day ticket right now, and you'll get 2 days for free, with hotel room and travel package discounts also currently available. By the way, if your hotel plans include Cabana Bay Beach Resort, that hotel's lazy river is still under refurbishment through March 22nd. Of course, there's always the lazy river right next door at Volcano Bay. And I noticed that late night hours are going to be returning to Volcano Bay this summer. We've already got a 9 p.m. close scheduled on Memorial Day weekend, which is hopefully a sign of more late hours throughout the summer season. All right, it's finally time to head inside the parks at Universal Studios Florida. The replacement of the exit turnstiles is finally complete, but now the front gate is getting a makeover with the right half of the turnstiles currently closed. Once you do get inside the park, you'll notice that the main gift shop has Super Mario Brothers movie merchandise. We can't yet get some of the fantastic Super Nintendo World merchandise that I picked up while I was in Universal Studios Hollywood, but you can get a picture inside a Mario Kart over at the Super Mario Brothers movie photo op located at Music Plaza. The former drink stand outside the Betty Boop shop near the front of Universal Studios Florida has been completely destroyed, and we're waiting to see what gets rebuilt in its place. Right next door, purple awnings and a giant V logo have been added for Villain Con Minion Blast, while major construction continues on the facades for Minions Cafe just down the block. Speaking of facades, the New York City backdrops at the end of the street are getting a thorough refurbishment. The Guggenheim Museum has been completely repainted, and the flats on the right side have currently been stripped, leaving only the New York City Public Library to be completely untouched so far. Moving around the park into the Wizarding World of Harry Potter Diagon Alley, I'm happy to report that one more victim of COVID has finally recovered. The audience participation segment of the Celestina Warbeck show, which has long been removed, has finally been restored, and guests are once again being led up on stage to dance with Celestina and the Banshees. I also had the good fortune of being in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, California, on the day that vegan butterbeer was released. And I can happily confirm that the vegan topping on the cold and frozen butterbeer tastes exactly like the former dairy version. Across the lagoon, exterior refurbishment continues on the outside of the Simpsons attraction, with guests entering the queue through the exit near Quickie Mart. The drainage repair and repaving outside of Men in Black also appears to be nearly complete, but the refurbishment of the drink stands and snack stands across from Macy's in New York is still ongoing. Speaking of the lagoon, I was sad to confirm that the Cinematic Celebration show is extinct, but hopefully those drone tests that I reported on a few weeks ago mean a new show is on its way. And new passport cards have been introduced at the E.T. Adventure, another great sign that that attraction will be around for a long time to come. Okay, let's hop now over to Islands of Adventure. In the Port of Entry Christmas shop, the expansion of the Fudge Kitchen recently displaced the calligrapher who used to paint custom Christmas ornaments. But I'm told that that service is still available. The artist has just been moved to a different location. In Marvel Superhero Island, it looks like a new green food booth is being constructed to replace the one that was removed near the Meteor Strike sculpture in the center of the island. In Toon Lagoon, it was great to see that all of the water gags are working for once around the island, and that both Ripsaw Falls and Bildrat barges are currently open, although Me Ship the Olive remains under refurbishment. Inside the Wizarding World of Harry Potter Hogsmeade, Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure reopened from its downtime with a newly rebuilt section of queue repairing damage from the hurricane. And you can now pick up hardpack Florian's ice cream in various flavors inside Honeydukes at Islands of Adventure. Previously, it was only available at the cart outside and over in Diagon Alley. And finally, we head inside Jurassic Park, where the Velocicoaster has finally started accepting Universal Express passes. However, that has jacked up the standby waits to 2 hours and more, leaving the express waits often at up to 45 minutes. Jurassic Park River Adventure also reopened from its refurbishment, but I'm sorry to say that there is still plenty of broken effects and disabled animatronics. It also seems like the automated photo kiosk at the exit of the ride has been removed. There are still live attendants at the photo desk there to help you get your picture. And we'll end with a menu update for Thunder Falls Terrace, one of my favorite overlooked restaurants at Universal Orlando Resort. They recently replaced the jackfruit in their vegan rice bowls with a plant-based chorizo. and the beloved barbecued ribs have finally returned, both of which are big upgrades in my book. Okay, that's all for this time. I'm Seth Kuberski, and you can find my book, The Unofficial Guide to Universal Orlando 2023, at theunofficialguides.com. I'll be back in a couple weeks, and until then, I'm keeping an eye on all the little things at Universal Orlando for you.
Whew, it's good to have him back.
Thank you, Seth. Yeah, that's definitely a lot of things.
Yeah.
There was, yeah.
I got a couple things here, but
Go on then.
what do you guys?
So I know we talked about how adding Express to Velocicoaster would affect the standby line, and a lot of people, like, we put it on the Facebook page, and a lot of people said, I think it's difficult to tell at the moment because Hagrid's closed. Well, Hagrid's is now open, and those standby lines for Velocicoaster, I know it's been busy, but holy crap, it's like second or third highest wait times in the park now, when it never was.
That's crazy.
I mean, Chris, you were there last weekend. How was it?
It was that ride, or just the park in general?
Well, just the
Like
park
the
in
crowds.
general, and then comparing how Velocicoaster would ordinarily be during
It's
that
more.
period.
It's definitely more, and I think it's the perfect storm, because I feel like we talked about this, maybe touched on it before, but you have the reduced throughput that we've read about not that long ago. You have Express, and now you have spring break crowds. It's the perfect storm for a really high wait time. Will it go down drastically after spring break? Maybe not. I don't know. Well, that's yet to be seen.
It'd be interesting.
But it's definitely those the Velocicoaster, wait times have definitely gone up quite a bit. Even with when we were there last week, it was kind of weird because some days were extremely busy, and then some days like it looked busy going through security. And when you got in, it wasn't that busy, but the Velocicoaster still had a pretty high queue or high wait time.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's definitely getting affected.
it's sad, isn't it? Because it was, like, we know for the first year or so of it open, it was the most efficient ride in the park, in both parks.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, I don't understand why they've added Express to it.
You don't understand why they had Express, or why
No.
they brought down the
I don't
efficiency?
understand why they've put Express. Like, why add it to it?
Yeah, because it was normally under, I mean, for the most part, it was under an hour
Yeah.
average, I feel.
We've never waited longer than about 45
No.
minutes for it. And I think that was at the
No.
Weekender, and that was that weekend when it had started. The crowds were ramping up into like those December crowds, but it
Yeah,
wasn't
because there'd been other times we'd walk past, it was like 10 minutes,
Yeah.
15 minutes.
Yeah, we'll have to see when the dust settles from spring break, which we won't have that much of a gap, because then
No.
you have summer coming in. So it'll be interesting. Maybe they got to bring up throughput a little bit more. But I highly doubt we'll see Express leave that ride.
And then obviously one that dropped completely under the radar of Cinematic Celebration ending.
That's one of them.
Yeah, that was a
What?
shocker.
Like, just complete.
What?
No announcement. Just, hey, it's finished. What?
Yeah, I had to literally Google that right now while hearing that. And so it started, 2018?
I think
And
originally, like the original show was like 2013. And then they changed. That was Cinematic Spectacular. That was like the 100 years of movies. And then when did they change it over to Celebration? What is it now? I always felt like the
2018?
original one should have been Celebration and this one should be Spectacular.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
Well, remember they introduced that whole water screen in the lagoon right before or closely up to Horror Nights, and then we got that Horror Night show. So it was like 2018.
Oh, yes, because the original Cinematic whatever, the Spectacular was those weird...
The globes.
No, it wasn't. It was the like weird square water screen thing where the water came down. Yeah, I'd forgotten about that. Yes, you're right. I was thinking whatever the Spectacular was the original one. I'm forgetting it was those because the pre-show for it, wasn't it, where they dropped the water? They could drop the water in patterns. You remember?
That's right. Yes,
Yeah.
I quite like that.
So it's been
kind
going.
of a bummer. And it's weird how fast they got rid of it. I feel like that cost a lot to implement, and now you're just getting rid of it?
Well, a lot of the rumours are that it never quite recovered from the hurricane damage, which I hope's not true, because I don't know how that affects Horror Nights.
It doesn't matter anyways. The show's gone, right?
Yeah, but if they could still do like Ghoulish or Marathon of Mayhem and stuff like that for Horror Nights. But if it's a case of they've closed it because of all that stuff is too damaged.
It's a weird one, because so personally, if they closed the show, right? They're not saying, oh, we're retiring this show and just even saying retiring the show. Like from what I was reading, it shows like that is permanently closed. Like they're not using that anymore, and that the drones may be the next show, right? I don't see them bringing it back for Horror Nights personally. I'd love to, but I don't see it.
It's interesting. It's funny. It goes back to that whole drone testing thing a few months back.
Yep.
Like at the time, I think, Chris, were you on when we spoke to Seth, or was it me and Michelle? I think it might have been me and Michelle. I don't think you two were on. We talked a lot about...
I wasn't on that one.
Yeah, we talked a lot about that drone show, and I think Seth was like, it could be just for like a corporate event or something like this. And then you start looking at this and going, was it? It seems very coincidental.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it would be more than just a corporate event. Plus the tech is there.
Yeah, it's just weird that they didn't announce it. Or they didn't give, it'll be ending in 2 weeks, so if you want to go and see it, you better get out. Mm-hmm. It was just like, it's ended last night, so you're done.
When we were there, we were, the group of people we met up with, we were just talking like, hey, why is the show not on? And we just assumed it was because Mardi Gras, but no.
Mm-hmm.
I actually tweeted them. I DM'd them at the time because I'd seen all these accounts posting it. So I actually got the reply was Universal Orlando Cinematic Celebration had ended its run at Universal Studios Florida to make way for a new nighttime show experience that will debut in the future.
Yeah, it sounds very vague.
So not even debut soon.
No, in the future.
In the future.
Yeah, which seems weird for them to end it and then not have something ready to go like soon.
But that goes back to the thing of it being, maybe it is damaged.
Yeah.
Maybe the cost of running that show in general is just really high.
Maybe.
It's a weird one. But I am going to miss that show because I really did enjoy that one. That one was a good one.
I didn't mind it. The last time we saw it was windy, wasn't it, Tracy? Because we saw it with Grace, and then John and Becky came with us. Yeah. And it was windy, so it was really bad. So we didn't even get to see it properly the last time. But it's just... I hope it's not because it's damaged, because those Lagoon shows for me have become so much a part of Horror Nights now. Of my experience at Horror Nights so much. I mean, we saw Ghoulish 3 times last time. We saw that first Marathon of Mayhem twice, and it was so much a part of that weekender that I'll be gutted if it's not part of it. But it does seem weird.
I don't even want to imagine the crowds without having that there.
Well, exactly. Again, you need that end of the, just as a general day guest. Before they had these things in it, Tracy and I always said, like Disney, you had like illuminations at Epcot. I mean, obviously I'm going way back at this point, and Wishes, and what was the one at Hollywood Studios called? Fantasmic. You had that sort of focal point at the end of the day, whereas Universal didn't have that. It was just like, park shuts at 7, it's 5 to, I suppose we best head out.
Yeah.
It was weird. And then at least having this there, you had that if you wanted it, but to close it and not even have anything even remotely soon to replace it is odd.
I'm sure they've got the reasons.
Oh, I've no doubt. And they're not going to tell you what it is, but I have my ways of finding out, I'm sure.
Yeah, I was about to say, still some questions out there.
Oh, yeah. I know some people who know that equipment quite well. What other thing did you have, Chris? You said there was another thing.
Well, I just realized we were going to be talking about that next.
Oh, of course.
So I'll leave that. But one minor gripe, turnstiles. Yes, it's kind of sucked this past weekend going through because they closed off half of them.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It was pretty bad, but I'm still angry that I have to put my thumb on the scanner. Aren't we past that?
I thought that was the whole point of what they get. Weren't they supposed to be, as far as I was aware, they were replacing them because they were wanting to start using the facial recognition.
Yeah, it's not there.
I mean, it doesn't work. We used it on the Express Pass thing at Men in Black. Do you remember it?
Mm-hmm.
It showed you scanned your pass and it came up with somebody else's face. And what the hell?
Yeah, just go anyways.
Oh yeah, they didn't question it.
Yeah. I also still really want to try that vegan butterbeer.
I mean, Seth
Just
said
to
it's
compare it.
as good. He said it was as good as.
I know. I want to try it even more now.
I will try it.
Oh, for
and
definite.
I don't even like butterbeer, but I'll try it.
Yeah, it would be interesting.
I was kind of hoping it would be slightly different, maybe a little less sweet, so maybe I'd like it more.
Yeah.
But for the price of it, maybe it's a good job that I don't like it.
Yeah, true.
Other than that, there's not a lot going on, really, is there? I feel like a lot of this stuff we covered 2 weeks ago anyway, and Seth obviously just reiterated because he's been away for that long. But
it's nice to have him back.
It is.
Oh, for definite, yeah. He always picks up something that we miss.
So let's talk about something we've discussed on the back end, the front end, whatever. Universal logos.
Wow. There's the hot topic.
So for those that don't know, certain Universal social media accounts started posting that these new logos it was the day they announced that Universal Parks and Resorts became Universal, Destinations and Experiences? That's what they've called it now.
Yeah.
So it was that same day that suddenly these new Islands of Adventure, City Walk, Studios, Volcano Bay, is that
Epic
it?
Universe.
No, Epic. Did they do a new one?
They tweaked it. Yeah, it's had a tweak.
I feel like I'm missing something. Is that right?
City Walk. No, you said City Walk.
Yeah.
It's just
Universal Orlando Resort. Like the overall one,
Yeah.
Island Studios, Volcano Bay, and City Walk.
Mm-hmm.
And how did we feel about those logos, guys?
Oh. I may have improved them. Those in the Producers Club will have seen my improvements.
They were just weird. I'm assuming most people listening will have seen them at this point.
I mean, I feel like the post that you did on that was probably one of our most interactive posts because everybody was just going crazy.
There was quite a few people that actually said, I like the Islands one. And Tracy and I were both like, the Islands one is disgusting. Don't you dare. Like, what is wrong?
I was
the original logo is perfect.
It's old worldy. It fits.
I don't understand why you would change a logo that's been like that much. It was like the Universal Studios Florida ones changed a little bit. The overall Universal Orlando Resort ones had changed a little bit. But to virtually completely change, I know what it is. So if you look at the Epic Universe one, the original one, the one they've put out now is tweaked ever so slightly. So rather than change that to look like the Universal ones, they tweaked the Universal ones to look like the Epic Universe ones, so they all fit in. The only one I liked was the Volcano Bay one.
Yes, 100%. I mean, not that it's the best logo, but it was nice.
It was all right.
Yeah. I thought it matched. I mean, you got the volcano up there, just the outline, and then the water and everything. I agree with you. That one, I think, was fitting. City Walk.
Right, they ran out of time. Somebody had 5 minutes and just jumped on.
It was like someone commented saying it looks like a strip club.
Dude, it looks like so many things. It looks like if they... You've probably never seen the movie The Birdcage. It looks like The Birdcage. It looks like South Florida. It looks like Miami. It looks like South Beach. It looks like all of that. Because I see that all the time down here. But like really bad version of that. Not even a good version.
Just...
Because then there was a lot of speculation that if they changed the Islands of Adventure logo, were they going to change the one on the lighthouse as well to match it? And there was uproar.
Yeah, they would go
now,
crazy.
What date was they released?
I couldn't tell you.
It looks like 1991 to me.
I mean, yes. Yeah. I like your post. I think your comment was whatever the program was, like they went for 3.0 and found 0.3.
Yes. They went backwards a few points.
The reason I ask is, was it March the 1st?
No, I don't think so.
Has somebody messed up and it should have been a month later?
No, because those logos. So Chris Screws sent me a a link to a website, an official website, where all the logos are available in high res to download, and those logos are still there.
Yeah, but if I was going to do a prank properly, I'd make sure that every base is covered so it looked legit. I just wonder if it was... I do genuinely wonder if it was supposed to be an April Fool's and somebody got the dates mixed up. Because
I don't know. Maybe daylight savings time got them by a month.
Maybe. I mean, the thing is...
Or maybe somebody was getting sacked and it was the last ditch.
Yeah, that very much could be it.
Yeah.
I mean, even listening to, I was hearing the Coopers on the Universal Family Podcast.
Yes.
And he has, Brian has a background in, or at least from what he was saying, has background in this kind of thing. And I agree with everything he said there. Like how these got past any kind of checks, any kind of, let's review this with a study group and see what they feel about it is beyond me. Because I have not seen anyone really just go, man, these are awesome.
There were no checks.
Great. No, absolutely not.
Or was there an elementary school competition?
Maybe that's what it is.
Maybe
that's what it is.
I
don't
mean,
know.
for those listening who haven't seen them and don't know where they were, these were on the website. So if you go on universalorlando.com and click on the side panel where there's Universal Studios and that, they were on there.
Mm.
You know what? That may be too difficult to find. Just go to our Facebook page, the Unofficial Universal Orlando Podcast, and our Instagram, and we posted them up. And you may complain that they look like low-res versions and that we're not doing it justice. But Lee, are they low-res versions, or is that exactly what you saw?
I think they are slightly low-res versions, but not proper. But I think that they're not a million miles away from what they were supposed to be.
Awful.
But then, 3 days ago, I think it was about 3 days ago, suddenly those logos on the website change.
So what do you think?
I actually don't mind them.
Well, look at me. They're going to be cheap for the screen printers to
they're fairly
to
bland, but they all look the same. I don't mind them. As far as the website goes, I think they're fine.
They're clean. I'll give them that. They look very clean.
They're very minimalist.
Yeah.
But
are they right for the parks? I don't think so.
Right. I
don't think so either.
They're characterless. They are devoid of character.
I think for the website, they're perfect. I think what's happened is they've gone, these are the ones we want to use. They're kind of bland. I think everyone will go...
I said, this is my idea. Don't you take it.
They'll go, these are bland as hell. So we'll put these really ones out and get everyone up in arms. So then when we change them to these ones, they'll go, oh, they're much better.
I said that.
I don't know what
there.
Yeah,
I don't know what they've been playing at.
I will say, anybody out there who's got a Cricut, as in the die cutter type machine, do you know what? As soon as these are definitely official, you can make all the stickers you like, because that is going to be one of the simplest designs just to print off. And if you make some, send me some.
They're very similar to those those plastic keychain things that Adam made for the weekend.
They stole his design,
aren't they?
Adam, lawyer
Adam,
up.
you need some royalties, my friend.
Absolutely.
They are.
No, I Tracy, I 100% agree with you. I use the word soulless, but I think have no character is kind of more... Like it just doesn't. Those logos are just doesn't scream theme park and fun.
No,
it's just
this is it. Each one was different enough, same family, but different enough that you knew what to expect from each park.
Mm-hmm.
Or
I'm trying to think what the original Volcano Bay logo actually was.
Also, Universal, not Universals, no possessive anymore.
Yes. See, why is that?
Probably because possession's now frowned upon or something, because the world's changing.
Disney did it, didn't they? Because there's Disney Hollywood Studios, not Disney's Hollywood Studios like it was. I don't understand. It's obviously there's a purpose behind it. It's a purposeful thing. Just seems weird.
Yeah,
because it's Universal
totally
Islands of Adventure, not Universal's Islands of Adventure anymore.
Well, you never know, man. Maybe they forgot to put some extra letterings in there. And then we forgot letters. Here, just take these other logos that we're going to throw away too.
Apostrophe in a letter costs more, doesn't it?
Maybe that's what it is. It's like the screen printer or the guys who do all their logos are like, we'll charge you so much for 20 letters and then
it's like engraving some shit
and then an extra $10 for every letter after that. And they were like, well, if we put Universal Islands of Adventure, that just
still
takes us to that point.
It's like take that's and obs out your sentences when you're trying to get your word count.
It's just so weird.
It's all the bean counters.
Yeah.
And it's like, I never thought, like, you hear a ride closing down or something changes in the park up in arms, but for how much furore it's caused online just for some random logos.
People are passionate about these things. It's part of people's identities.
I think this shows how big the fandom for Universal Orlando has become now.
I think it's showing how detached corporate actually is from what their customer, their clientele wants, to be quite honest.
Strange, because I know Vincent put a video out the day after, didn't he? And he kind of hinted towards, are they going to change the logo on the lighthouse? And then we were like, no, don't you dare.
Can you imagine if they put this one up?
They won't. I think those logos are purely just for the website.
Yeah, I think the web, yeah.
And like maybe
just
park
blue
maps.
paint. That's it. That's all I need.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Make yourself a little stencil, can of blue paint. You can go around and just tag everything.
But they do look like they've changed them to kind of fit in so they look like the Epic Universe one, rather than change the Epic Universe one to be sympathetic to the current ones.
But
why do they have to be all this? I don't get it.
I've just had an awful thought.
Go on.
I get they're needing the uniformity, but they should also each have their own identity.
Exactly.
Yes.
And like this last one that came out, so the first revision, they definitely all had their own identities, but they were not good identities for them.
Nope.
Now this one is like, they all have the same identity, and that identity is bland blankness.
But that's what so you've gone from family to the awful stepchildren, and now to the inbred children.
But I think for the website, they're perfect.
Yes, they're perfect.
Yeah.
However, something I've just thought about. So what if somebody really, really, really loved those designs that were released recently and went and got them tattooed?
Do you know someone who did?
No, but it's just a thought that just crossed my mind because people do these things.
It would make their tattoo rare.
I know that we would be talking about it quite extensively on this podcast. So I messaged a friend of ours who does a lot of the artwork for Universal. And I went, please tell me these aren't yours before we start on them. I didn't say that. I just went, these aren't yours, are they? And he was like, no, I didn't do them. And I was like, that's fine. We can tear them to bits now and then.
Yeah.
I was going to message him as well, but I'm like, I know he is strictly merch.
Yeah.
So
I was just
could
checking.
not have done this.
Yeah.
He would not have done this.
No. But I was just checking just in case.
No, that's see, you're doing your due diligence there.
Yeah. No, they were bad. I didn't, like I say, the only one I kind of liked was the Volcano Bay one. I kind of liked that it had like the water bowl with the splash in it, the volcano. It wasn't bad actually.
I was looking at the old one now because you had mentioned it, and I would probably say it's a step forward from that one, because the old one was basically just kind of like some very light drawing of a volcano with just like squiggly lines as water, and then Volcano Bay.
Yeah.
Which it wasn't bad. It was that one also very minimalistic, but I think that near one gave it. I thought it looked cool. I don't know. It was good.
The original one's bland as hell. Really,
it's
isn't
super
it?
bland, but that's all we had, right? That's all we
the
knew.
one was quite dynamic and it had movement to it.
Do you know what? Looking at it now, comparing it to the old one, I actually really like it.
Yep.
I actually do really like it.
Was that the one I put "oh no" in the middle of it?
It's not like the original. Like Chris just said, Tracy, I know you can't see. It's just literally Universal's Volcano Bay water theme park in like light blue, with like a wave above the middle of it, and then a green volcano at the top. It's super bland.
I'm just kind of sad I won't be able to buy that City Walk shirt.
I'm sure you'll find it in one of the dollar stores.
Corey, you know what you're doing with t-shirts. Chris wants one of those neon strip club City Walk t-shirts, please.
I need just a black t-shirt with super bright neon Miami Vice pink letters.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm sure Michelle would agree with us completely over this.
Yeah. I was going to say something and I've forgotten. Not a clue.
Oh, okay.
But how would we have felt if they'd just released the ones that we've got now?
I probably put it this way: we wouldn't be having this conversation now.
I think we would still be up in arms, though.
I don't think we would. I don't think. I think.
So you think?
I don't think places would have passed. I don't think sites and stuff would have been posting it like they were. I don't think you would have seen it anywhere near as much. Therefore, everyone else wouldn't have grabbed it. It wouldn't have all been up in arms. We would not be having these conversations now.
So you think?
Are you saying like it didn't exist any logo, and then these are the logos? Is that what you're saying, Trace?
No, she's saying if they went from what they were
to what they are now,
without those ones in the middle.
Oh, okay.
So what I'm trying to say to Lee is, so you're telling me going from that dynamic Islands of Adventure one, that is,
but
it's a call.
I don't think they've changed the logo. I think that's just a...
No, hang on. It literally is a call to adventure. It's vibrant. It's got depth. It's got colours. It's got the hues of Port of Entry and all the islands that encompass Islands of Adventure. It's all in that one logo. And now you've gone to a single colour.
But the logo's still the logo. I bet if you buy any Islands of Adventure merch, not that there is much, it will still have that logo on. The Lighthouse has still got that on. I think it's only purely for marketing and the website.
But they haven't made this clear. This is the problem.
But they don't need to make it clear.
True.
It's only nerds like us that are sat here talking about it.
And
we need answers. We need them now.
Yes, we do. And there's more nerds like us than people realise.
Yeah, but there's not more nerds like us than people out there going to the park that literally couldn't care less.
That bit enough.
Look, I agree with you. I think the current logos now, it does match maybe too much with the current design of the website. And I know sites typically want to go for a very, simplistic, minimalistic kind of look. You don't want all this clutter and everything. But then what does that say about the ones that they released first? Was that going to be on the website?
It was on the website.
I know. That's what I'm saying. So you're saying, oh, it's just a website thing to blend in better with it. But they released the other ones there as well. So
I don't know.
It's still kind of up in the air whether or not it's going to go to merch as well.
I don't know whether the old logos were on the website because I never paid enough attention. I assume they would have been, but I don't know. It's not something I ever noticed. It's only because they've changed them to these crappy ones now that people have gone, what the hell's that?
Yeah.
So odd, so strange. But again, they're just logos. It's not the end of the world. As long as they don't slap them on the front of the parks and stuff. Like if you walk into studios next Saturday and the entrance arches have got the crappy blue and white Universal Studios Florida above the top of it.
Gonna repaint the arches and everything.
Yeah, to blue and white.
Look, I'm going to give Universal a free one here. Put all these logos out on April 1st.
Yeah.
Put it on the Lighthouse. You will have chaos for one day.
Yeah.
It'll get you some... they say there's no such thing as bad publicity. That will get you some bad publicity.
But put these things out on April 1st. If you get backlash, then you can go, hey, April Fools. And if you don't, you can go, well, here you go.
I think what the strangest thing
That's actually really smart, Tracy.
Yeah, I'm the brain singer.
I think what the weirdest thing overall is that they put the version 1.0 up on the website, and then everyone went up in arms, and then a week later they changed them. Now I wonder if that was always the plan.
That's why I think it may have been
or whether the backlash from the fans and they've gone, yeah, no, we can't leave them up there. Just put those crappy ones up.
So I don't follow Twitter as much, but
me either.
Did we see any good jokes or memes coming from the Twitter?
I don't
feel like
go on Twitter.
I look into that.
Did you see what I'd posted, Chris?
Yeah, he mentioned it earlier. Oh no, he didn't talk about mine, didn't he?
Which one?
In the producers club.
I rejigged them.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Yeah. Yes,
I was quite proud of that.
That was actually very good.
Yeah.
I think that's enough of bashing on these logos or praising them, whichever way you side with it.
I think we're quite lucky that we came into it after these new ones have been released. I think if we'd have done this a week ago, we would have a very different conversation.
If they hadn't changed it, we could have had a segment called "Oh No, Logo."
Wow.
Oh, that was bad.
Keep that one in the back pocket, Trace.
Yeah, deep in the back pocket.
Which logo's a no-go?
Yeah. Hey, stop stealing my thunder.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
I'm a little hungry right now.
Mm.
I have a sweet tooth. I can go for some cake.
I think I can help
Tracy,
you out there.
Please help us.
Yes. We have PC birthdays, PC Producers Club, as you know. Producers Club birthdays. We only have 4 this time. So not a lot of cake, but cake nonetheless. So we're going to kick off March 21st. It is the lovely Lauren U. Halleck's birthday. Happy birthday, Lauren.
Happy birthday.
Feliz cumpleaños, Lauren.
And thanks for replying to Lee so quickly then.
She's at the parks now.
She's
They're
at
just
the park?
recording a Bow Pick a Bow Bow soon.
Oh, I can't wait to hear that. Awesome.
Yeah.
March 24th is the beautiful Stephanie Brown's birthday. Happy birthday, Stephanie.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Stephanie.
And then a few days later, on the 27th, we have the fantastic Kenny Detwiler's birthday. Happy birthday, Kenny.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
Great
Kenny.
pick. Sorry.
Michelle says
Great pick.
Detwiler, apparently. But
Detwiler.
I always pronounce it Detwiler, but whatever.
It's the
Detwiler.
European pronunciation. It's okay.
And then finally, last but by no means least, on March 31st, it is the amazing Jonathan Jackson's birthday. Happy birthday, Jonathan.
Happy birthday, Jonathan.
Happy birthday, Jonathan.
He's part of the family.
Yeah. So
Family.
have wonderful birthdays. As usual, lots of love, cake, presents, and happy memories. Woo!
Yeah. I'm going to eat some cake right now. While I'm eating cake, let's pause for a quick ad break.
Man, we need a vacation.
Oh, I got this.
Whoa, that's awesome. But I was thinking something a little more adventurous.
Okay, how about this?
Yes!
And how about some relaxation from Mama?
Oh, perfect. Wait, how did you do that?
Easy. PortKey Vacations.
For your next vacation, let PortKey Vacations take away all the guesswork and stress of planning. From air and hotel to theme park tickets and everything else in between, they've got you covered. Just visit PortKeyVacations.com and touch the PortKey to get started with your free, no-obligation quote request. With just one touch, and PortKey Vacations will magically take you wherever you want to go.
Welcome back. Now, as we told you in the intro, I took my team to the great movie escape to experience Back to the Future Out of Time. And we do want to thank Universal for having us out to review it. So now it's over to our group for our spoiler-free review. Here you go. Hey, everybody. We just finished the Back to the Future, not escape room, Great Escape. Great Escape. Sure. I think that's a better...
adventure.
No adventure. Now we have the original crew here, plus one. Everybody, just introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Jill.
One of the aficionados.
I'm Kenneth.
Alexa here. Hi, I'm Maddie.
And
Hi,
the plus
I'm Lindsay.
one. Lindsay!
Yay, Lindsay.
We also have watching us, Steven, which is
Hi, Steven.
Jill's better half.
He's never been on the podcast. This is his podcast debut.
Oh,
He's in the audience.
yeah. We have audience members now.
Yeah.
So you guys have already heard our Jurassic World review. We talked about the room and everything about it, like the whole experience. So this review is going to be more about just the room itself, Back to the Future, in comparison to Jurassic World and value proposition. Is it worth it? Should you do it? I will open the floor out to anybody who wants to start off and say, because we haven't spoken a word to each other on purpose, and I feel like we're all a little bit on the same page for some reason. Yes. But go ahead, you guys.
I think we should go around and say if we preferred this room or the Jurassic room.
Okay, fair.
That works. Yeah.
I preferred this room in terms of like sets and theming, but overall experience Jurassic World.
Okay.
100%, I agree.
I also agree. This room was more fun to be in, but the gameplay and the puzzles were much less enjoyable.
That's to put it mildly.
Kenneth is being nice.
I agree with everybody. I believe that Jurassic Park room was definitely better. This one was just more frustrating.
Yeah, Alexa's about to cut somebody.
I'm about to cry.
So angry.
I also liked the Jurassic World room better. I do love the Back to the Future movies, but Jurassic World was better, but Back to the Future is a great movie, and it had good theming.
We're pulling hard.
I know.
Lindsay, you go. So this was Lindsay's first room. Okay.
Have you ever done an escape room before?
No.
Never.
Oh, so then you still haven't.
You still have not.
As Kenneth said.
So
before.
how did you like this room?
The theming was cool, but yeah, the puzzles were frustrating, and there wasn't really enough for everyone to do most of the time.
Yes.
Facts.
So and we only had 6 people.
Yeah.
Let's touch on that.
Yes.
So
let's touch on it, please.
Let's touch on it, please. The puzzles were very, I think,
repetitive. Yes.
Some of them, they weren't even puzzles. They were just more tasks.
Yeah, but we did the same thing twice.
It's like find things to touch.
Yes.
Yeah. And one of the biggest frustrations that I have, I think everyone else at this table has, is that whenever we would touch something, one speaker would play and then another speaker would play, and then we couldn't hear what was going on, and it
was two voices overlapping each other.
Yeah.
And I asked Connor about it, and he said that it was we all did. He said it was the game master's trying to give hints, and he said that they are just kind of flying off the handle, pressing the buttons to give like automated hints that are voice prompts, but then the voice prompts are overlapping with the game audio, and you can't understand what the hell's going on.
But on top of that, relating to audio, specifically there's one room where you have to wait for something to play all the way through to look at an indicator, and then someone else press a different button to see their indicator light up, and that itself just took so much time that we barely almost didn't make it through that room because everything just needed its own time to play out, and you couldn't push buttons on top of one another.
It should be able to overwrite it.
Right.
Yeah.
Trying to press it up.
At that point, it was like we were hitting the buttons and they was playing the things, and it felt like we were supposed to be listening to what it was saying, but like we knew what we were trying to do, and whatever it was saying didn't matter to what we were trying to do.
But it was still prolonging everything.
The other thing that really kind of bothered me was, and I think we all kind of experienced that, because one of the rooms, we had to do something over and over and over again. You have the whole sequence of blah, 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 but at the end, we had no idea what we were supposed to do.
Yeah.
Like, they don't articulate,
We just
like,
got
you
it
need to
work.
figure out how to do this, right?
How about the fact that...
Are you talking about the room that we failed?
Yes. The one we missed 2 points on.
In theory, we thought we failed in every room. I mean, we came out confused on every room.
We will say our scores at the end.
Yeah. But I wanted to add to one of the other things, too. So, obviously, the sequences and things like that we're playing in, but there was something specific that you're supposed to do in most of the rooms that we did, and we had it in there.
I asked him. This is what I said. I got confused.
Yeah, because
I asked Connor
it was
about it.
in, and then all of a sudden it was like, okay, well, what the hell?
Yeah.
So,
and Kenneth used an old school trick from Nintendo days. And if you do this room, you'll know what it is.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, so I asked our game master guy about it once we came out. I said, hey, by the way, why didn't this work? Because it took us like a minute or two off of our time because we could not get it to recognize that we had inserted something into a slot, essentially.
That's what she said.
Because he said there's like basically a button in the back. And he said if you don't press it at the right angle, it won't register that that's in, and that's not fair. And eventually, I think we got to it because I started going, "Hello, it's in!"
And that could have been one of the game masters just overriding.
I think he
it.
did because I started
we were like, "Hello," we were saying like, "It's in, hi, it's in."
Because the game kept trying to prompt us to put it in.
Yeah.
To put it in.
It's been in.
That's also what she said.
There's a lot of insertion in this room.
There's a lot of penetrative puzzles. Oh god.
Okay, you said we'd reveal our score at the end, right?
Yeah, right. I mean,
So
we can do it now.
We did fairly well on this room, and there was no sense that we were doing well while we were doing it.
We came out like, he's like, "How'd you do?" We're like, "Terrible."
Yeah,
terrible.
And so, like, I think that's a sign of like poor game design that we were doing really, really well, and yet we were frustrated, and like there was no sense of satisfaction for when we did things right.
That's
because you didn't get any gratification.
Because
there was
we
maybe
didn't know.
2 out of the rooms, all the rooms, that was like, oh, we did this, because even one of the rooms,
we thought
we thought we didn't finish because it goes, oh, we figured it out on our end, or like, oh, we failed this and we got everything in that room.
The game master was like, "Oh, did this happen after?" And we were like, "Yeah." And did this happen on this one? Yeah. Oh, then you got through those. And we're like, "Wait, what?"
With Jurassic World, though, there was the gratification of, "Oh, you're not gonna make it unless you finish this puzzle." And it was like,
that's so true.
It was that hyper, the dinosaur's gonna get you. The dinosaur's gonna get you. Oh, the dinosaur's at the door. Oh, it's banging on the door. You better finish. Oh my God, you finished. Okay, the next door is opening.
Yeah,
there was none of
confusing.
that. Yeah, the script Nico's script never gave us that.
Also, shout out to Nico. I'm sorry.
There's a quote from that I'm going to be saying forever.
Hello.
I will be saying that forever.
Nico, if you're listening, we love you.
Here are the things in Back to the Future that I liked better. Okay, I liked our guide. I liked Nico.
Oh, I love Nico.
Better.
Sorry, no offense to your friend.
Yeah, Jordan was pretty
But
great.
Nico is fire.
Jordan was great. But
we love Jordan, but Nico is so
energetic
funny.
and funny.
I was laughing like half the time.
Her shtick was funny.
Amazing actress.
Back to the Future to me had a better guide through the game.
Yes.
Better storyline, better theming to the environment, better transitions between rooms.
Yes.
And I think the one thing that it did worse was just the actual game.
Yes.
And
the puzzles.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like what we were doing was so not clear.
Yeah.
So basically everything was great except for what we were doing.
Right.
But what's funny about that, I think, is so with the first room when they tell you kind of what's going on.
Yeah.
Like I said this, and I'm like the storyline. I'm like,
great.
This is a movie. They should make that into a movie because it's a really cool kind of auxiliary story. After everything, and I agree with you. The set pieces are fantastic.
Yeah. Like every single room, I was like, "This is amazing." Yeah. Until we had to solve the puzzles, and then I was like, "This sucks."
Which that is something you can fix. Like they can work on that.
Well, so one of my big things too is we had 6 people, and there was at least 2 or 3 rooms that 2 people were just standing.
I stood for most of the rooms holding my drink, watching you guys because there was nothing for me to do. Like I just had to pretend like I'm looking around like, good job, guys. I was just like the site manager. I was just like, yes.
You're the supervisor.
Yeah, at one point I got so frustrated that I just took a back, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna stand here because I was like, I don't understand. You're like, do that, and then you're like this, and then I'm like, I don't get what is going on.
Jurassic World definitely had more. Jurassic World had more hands-on. Like we were picking things up and putting things in and pushing buttons.
All
and
doing things together.
And you also knew. I feel like you knew what you were doing more in Jurassic World because I feel like 2 of these rooms, at least 2, we were just pushing buttons.
Zero idea what was going on.
Just to like give us an audible kind of.
First room? We thought it was a different letter.
We
and it was
there for
completely backwards.
Oh, how about the one room with all the bright colors that it was like on, Oh, I can't really.
Well, I will say
that was a cool.
I actually that was my favorite puzzle probably of the whole thing.
You know what
But after we got that, it was like, oh my god.
Yeah. Now the least favorite,
like a slightly clearer hint to how to get to that.
100%.
It was a cool puzzle, but it was confusing.
But it was
how
like
to get there.
and we couldn't understand like. We were like, what the hell? Until obviously you did what you did, and it was like,
let's point out, I was 2 letters away from the actual answer, so I without even the real solution. So
nice flex.
See, I both disagree and agree with that because I felt that the direction was unclear and the instructions weren't clear in Jurassic World. Like I was frustrated with Jurassic World, and then this one was even worse.
Yeah.
Like there was
this one made more sense.
Jurassic World or
see,
I agree with that. I'm just saying I feel like you didn't get enough instruction or enough guidance about what the task at hand
100%.
was, what your goal was, what you're supposed to be doing.
The word you just said was task, not puzzle. The half of these rooms were tasks and not actual puzzles. Jurassic Worlds,
I think
they were
puzzles.
all puzzles.
See,
I mean, there wasn't
we all
a single
worked together,
touch on
and
that.
these I don't feel like we really worked together. We were all just screaming at each other, like, "Try this, do that."
Fantastic, right? So one of the things, the room, and not to get into details,
Yeah.
the room that we failed, right?
Yeah.
It
Which
was
one?
no, the only one. No, it's the only one that we lost.
I
Yeah,
know.
the one room. Well, actually, we're kind of giving the score away.
Yeah.
But the room that we failed, then we spoke to the guy. We're trying to figure out like, so if you have a puzzle, you have things that you need to solve, right?
Yeah.
That room, he told us, is strictly trial and error. do something, try this.
fun.
That's not fun. That's just literally like
That's
guessing,
frustrating.
right? That's not. You're not using your brain. You're just doing move this,
Okay,
try,
move this, see
try,
where it
move this,
goes.
try. As opposed to in a traditional escape room, and you guys would know way more. In an escape room, you would have like a letter that corresponds to this, and that's what we were doing in the room.
Answer,
we were trying to play like an escape room.
In a
and
traditional
it wasn't.
escape room, the answers to each puzzle are present in the room. Like there are instructions there. You just have to figure out how to read them or where they are, where to find them.
And this
and in this, we were specifically told, oh no, there is no guide to figure out.
It's just trial and error.
Which is why we failed, because even when we were trying to...
We found out.
But we were trying to thinking like, okay, this is what it is after we got all three of them, and then we're trying to match the last one, and you go to press the one that we thought it was, and it moves something else, and we're like, what the f***?
I'll bet you anything if Steven was there, it would have been his favorite puzzle.
Which one? The one that we failed? I'm curious.
I'm going to tell you about it after, and you'll tell me if you have.
Also, going to that regard, so one of the things, like the Jurassic World, we spoke to the guy. That's 10 rooms technically, even though one is a walkthrough. It's not even anything. They count every room.
Every time a door opens.
Every time a door opens, it's a room. This was 8. So here's the thing. This one felt. Here's the thing. It felt way shorter,
but they were larger.
But we had a lot more time in each room.
That's true.
Because now coming from Jurassic Park, I feel like we all had that like rush anxiety of like we gotta solve it, and we're there for a while.
But do you also think it could have been the fact that, I mean, when we walked in here, it was kind of slow. There wasn't really anybody behind us.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't feel like anybody was getting pushed or pushing us behind it. Like Jurassic Park, we were getting pushed because remember one of the last rooms, it was like we could hear people. Yeah, we could hear people.
I do think we were right behind a group because when we went into like one
We
of
got
the
held up in that one room.
in one of the last rooms, I heard music coming from the room ahead of us as we were entering a room. Like like a group had just left the room we were walking into.
We were in there. I mean, we were in. I looked. Our time was 5:15, and 5:15 is when we were watching the video before you go in. And then they talked to us for a long time out front. We didn't step into the first room, which is just a video, and actually start a puzzle until like.
Close to 5:30, probably.
Yeah, 5:30, 5:35, almost 5:40, and we stepped out at 6:20-ish.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was watching 6:19.
6:20 saying we're done.
Yeah.
Wow,
so
that was
short.
Yeah.
But
it
on
felt
the expedition,
longer.
it
No, I feel like
no,
so much
sorry.
longer.
Each time in the room.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Longer. No, the
rooms
whole
felt
thing
longer.
felt way shorter.
Because remember what I said? I was like, there's a lot of exposition. Like, she was just talking.
Yeah,
So
way
was
too
it
much.
really a lot of time, or was it more that the videos were just longer
No.
that felt like it
I
was
do think we had more time to solve them because I think in Jurassic
make no
World
sense?
it felt Jurassic World I remember being pushed out of a room like right after we were figuring out how to solve the puzzles. Whereas in this one we actually completed all but one of the rooms.
which doesn't make sense.
But also I will say...
I'm still confused. Are you sure they got our score right?
It's probably another group because they thought we lost bags too. So like, these your bags? They're like, yeah.
Sure.
But in Jurassic World, you remember when we figured out a puzzle mechanic in those rooms, we did them repeatedly, like the same thing repeatedly over and over and over again. We didn't do that in this room. We did each one was
the first one was the only one,
the only one, but every other subsequent room there was one task, one puzzle that we were supposed to solve, and then we moved on.
Yeah.
Or
It wasn't
there were
the
three
same as-
separate puzzles like in the one room with the
It
tables.
wasn't the same puzzle and escalating difficulty.
Yeah, like in Jurassic Park we had that. Yeah,
Which is what I
several times.
loved about Jurassic World. As someone who's never done escape rooms before, the Jurassic World one is what I think of when I think of escape room. This one was just hit a button, see what happens. Oh, you did it in the wrong order, but we didn't give you the instruction on what order to do it in.
Which is funny because per the last review, the Jurassic World, and again, I consider you two the experts, was not an escape room.
No.
It's not.
No,
it's
it's an
more of an experience.
experience.
But for you, since you...
Yeah.
Because that was your first one or no?
That was my... Jurassic World was my first
now.
one.
And Back to the Future was my second.
Yeah. So again, still have not done an escape room, right? What do you say, Kenneth?
Yes. But do 2 halves make a whole? She's now done 2 half escape rooms. Does this now mean that Maddie's done one?
She's done 2 experiences,
Because
so she has...
if we go and do one on iDrive, I will most likely cry.
I think we should actually do it.
We should. Like, this group should go do an escape room.
And compare that to...
There's a 2-hour room.
A 2-hour room. I've done
the Knights one. The Knights. Is it the Knights one or is it Sherlock? No, it's Knights one. The Knights one on.
Is there any like horror ones? Because I'd love to do a horror one.
Yes, but we've done.
Yeah.
We did in Vegas. We did Saw.
Yeah, we did a Saw.
It was a Saw room?
Yeah. But it was more like this. It was more of an escape.
Okay, we're DJing. All right.
have a parade to go
Yes,
to.
we so let's hit a couple more topics, right? Yeah.
We're recording this at the same table we recorded last time, so we're right next to the entrance and exit of Jurassic World Escape.
We're going to be applauding. So I guess a couple things. One, for those, now Lindsay, you haven't done the other one, but I will have some questions for you. Let's just do straight to the point. If you were coming to Universal, doing one of these two rooms, which do you pick? Jill, go first.
Jurassic World.
Jurassic World? Kenneth?
Yeah.
That's tough because Back to the Future as a franchise means more to me.
Agreed.
And the theming and story elements of the room really struck a chord with me. But the games were so unenjoyable. That's tough. I don't really know. I don't know what I'd say. Honestly, like if you like both go with the franchise you like better. But if both are equal and you care more about the gameplay and the puzzle solving, Jurassic World is going to be your choice.
Very good. Yeah, I agree with that.
Can I pick neither?
Coin toss.
It's just that when we talk about value versus...
It's Jurassic World next.
Yeah, mine is also Jurassic World. These two movies are like almost equal in my stratosphere of how much I love them. But the Jurassic World one, if you've never done an escape room or an experience like this, Jurassic World has more value.
Yeah.
Now, wait. So she's never done it. Wait. So, Lindsay, the question for you is, you come up here with a bunch of friends. You've done this room already. Would you do it again?
Rattling closer.
That's a good question. I think if I had people that cared about the movie a lot, that'd be cool to like see the rooms. But yeah, the puzzles weren't. It was just frustrating. Like, there's not any like clearer direction.
Okay, now follow-up question. You paid for your ticket.
I did.
Do you think that it was worth the value?
Do you think the value is there?
I mean, escape rooms are always expensive, but I feel like if you're going to pay that much, you might as well go to iDrive.
Ooh, sick burn.
What?
Hot takes.
Ice for that burn.
Yeah.
Agreeable, though.
No, I agree with everything you guys said, especially, like, Kenneth, like, this one, again, the puzzles in Jurassic World, I'll get to you. Just raise your hand, I'll get to you. No, the puzzles were, I think, way better, but this one, when we walked into the first room and seeing this whole thing happen, in my mind, I said, oh, this is already going to be better than Jurassic World.
I know, I do too.
And every single room we went to was so highly themed. It was amazing. The
puzzle we failed.
The one, well, I'm not going to say anything, but there are fantastic rooms here, and the way they designed it, a million times better than Jurassic World.
We can give Universal that.
Well, we never thought they would fail at that.
No.
Yeah, just look at the tribute stores.
Yes.
But if there was ever anything that I could give to Universal is, first and foremost, change the name entirely. Don't let anyone come in here thinking that it's anything like an escape room first, because a lot of the
So like what, Universal ride the movies?
I don't know.
Walk the movies?
Something. You can think of that later. But it's
I'll
just
let it cook.
I feel like just like a puzzle adventure.
I feel like,
Something.
you know? It's not
Because
like you're escaping anything. Like, you're just playing a game.
You're escaping a
to
dinosaur
get
in Jurassic
through.
World.
That's fair.
Yes. But a lot of the comments that I've read and a lot of the frustration that we've heard from people is they're coming in with this expectation, and it's failing. And unfortunately, coming from doing both rooms, that was super frustrating.
Yeah.
It was really frustrating. And I mean, the theming's great, everything's great. However, I think that Universal should probably just change the name and kind of push it to something else.
Okay.
Maybe it would be a little bit more.
So we just spent 20 minutes bashing this room, but let's bring out some positives, right?
Yes.
Again, set design, storyline is fantastic. Would I come back and do it again? No. Would I come back into Jurassic World? Probably.
Yes.
Because that one, and
I want to get the better score.
not that I have to,
right?
But like, if you told me in between which one would you do again, Jurassic World, in a heartbeat. But I think agreeing with what Kenneth said, whatever your favorite IP is between the two, do that. If you're a diehard Back to the Future fan, which there are plenty out there, the set pieces will alone.
The rooms, like, I almost wish we could go through it and not have to play the puzzles.
Right.
You know, just like go in, spend like 10 minutes in each room.
One of the rooms, when we all had to touch hands.
Yeah.
That one, I was like, I would just want to be in here.
Yeah. Like, I loved every single room on its own. And then when they were like, okay, now you have to do this, and I was like, I don't understand how we're supposed to do that. I would rather just just hang out in this room.
Yeah, like hang out in the room with Nico. That's it. Like, I'd pay the full $60.
It's an immersive experience.
It's like the Stranger Things experience that they did like Cabana Bay.
Exactly.
And people will pay it still.
They would still 100%. Pay. I would, obviously, cost wise, I would. Maybe not as expensive for what you're getting. I get the theming and stuff like that.
Theme park upcharge, I guess.
I get that. But you're not going to want people to keep coming here charging such a high amount and then getting what you're getting. The value is just...
It's the same issue that the Halcyon at Disney is having.
Yeah.
The whole thing that they marketed was the return experience. You're going to love it so much, and there's going to be so much that you missed in the gameplay and the experience and what goes on with your interpersonal relationships with the characters that are there. They're going to want to keep coming back. Oh, but actually each time it's going to be $6,000 per room. So it's like, I understand the return of like, coming back over and over and over and over and over again to keep doing it. I want to do that, but the price value of it is just not.
And that's what I said last time. I said I think the initial upfront cost is maybe worth it, but not to come back. Like I said before, I'm not going to come back and do it again for the same price because it's just too much, especially for a room we've done before. And for Jurassic World, I feel like we had a lot more room for improvement. There's a lot more room to do better on the puzzles. We almost got a perfect score in this room. We haven't talked about our actual score yet, but there was only one room that we did not complete perfectly and fully.
And then we would have gotten a perfect score.
Right. So what am I going to do the next time I come back?
So there's no kind of replay there.
But I kind of want to but I want to come back to complete the room now that we know what we did, but I still feel like I would go in frustrated and leave frustrated.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm going to get any type of like satisfaction from it.
I think that this whole place could be fixed, and I do think that both of the experiences are worth doing. I think the price is questionable, but I think they're both valuable experiences
as an experience, not an escape room.
Yes, they're not escape rooms. So I think a rebranding, a redefining of what it is, so that you reset people's expectations as they walk in, and then also if they are able to re-record or like help adjust the instructions as you walk into a room, because you walk into a room and you're like, I just truly have no idea what we're supposed to be doing.
The first room we had zero.
Which it's fixable, because I think one of the things we all noticed was before you go into the room, you have an instructional video. That video was twice as long.
Yeah.
It was showing things that was never shown before, right? So they're kind of getting it, and I think
this is a video that anyone, no matter which room you're doing,
you have to do the same video. Yeah.
And so it's true. The how to play the game video was different than the first time we were here.
I think
they definitely put in more information in there.
Yes, and how to do the puzzles, what the gameplay is going to look like. Because that stuff was. I looked around. I turned around at some point in the video. I was like, "This wasn't here last time."
No. Yeah.
They changed it.
There were also spoilers before you even walked into the room.
It's true. They showed the room.
A little bit,
which is kind of a big no-no. Yeah.
Not that we really knew what to do anyway.
Right, but still.
It's definitely fixable. It's not like completely broken. There's just things about it, better instructions, lowering the music.
Better payoff for success.
Yes, you can,
because
they give you a gold star.
The problem, I think, also is that we know that whether you complete a room or not, you're going to get moved into the next one.
Yeah.
So then knowing that, you don't know if you actually completed the room, because it's like, okay, now we're going to the next one, and we didn't feel satisfaction of completion, and so it was like, oh, we must have failed, so they're moving us into the next room.
And that was because of our experience in Jurassic World.
Yes.
That we knew that we had that we had that kind of like we had that experience with the last one. We were like, oh, we got pushed through. We kind of
Maddie's friend kept on yelling at us at every room. She's like, you didn't do enough. Go to the next one. I'll take care of this.
Let's move it.
So let's go to real quick. We'll touch on the score. So Jurassic World is out of 20. We hit 13 or 12. And then this one's out of 15, and we hit 13.
Yes.
So we missed one room
We were in the second to highest category. Time traveler expert. What was it?
Expert, yeah.
Or it was chief
explorer something.
Something.
We don't have the card.
Good job, guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good job.
But yeah, so I guess, any last words?
Great.
No, we did good, but we didn't feel like that, and that's the whole point.
That's
like,
the
we
problem.
thought we did. I said 7.
Yeah.
You guys, what do you guys do?
We both said 7.
Yeah, I'm like, we did at least maybe
4. I was like,
I had no freaking clue.
right. I think if you're here, like, let's say you're going to take a vacation to Universal for multiple days, we know that you can do these 2 parks in 2.5-ish days.
Right.
So if you're looking for things to do and you don't want to venture outside of City Walk and you have the funds to do these 2 rooms, do them. They're fun. You're gonna have a fun time no matter what. I mean, we came out confused, but also laughing.
Yeah, we had a good time.
We had a good time. You know, we enjoyed ourselves. Like, we're just being very detailed and not criticizing, but kind of pointing out things where they can do better.
Yeah.
And they can definitely fix this. But I agree.
We had fun.
We had a good time.
Fun.
And again, if you have a good group with you, I think that's the most important thing.
And like the concept is good. Like I like the idea of these rooms, of these games. There's just like, I feel like there should have been more like focus grouping of these things before they were opened to everyone, because there's so much room for improvement on them.
And they're easily fixable. Like, you can fix this. Like, this, it's not detrimental.
I think also maybe that if Universal had some type of like, I don't know, you purchase 2, but you get a discount for purchasing 2.
A BOGO.
And doing both. And
well, a lot of
not
people
like,
do that.
Not back to back,
Okay.
but at least like, okay, I know that I can come back. I would be more inclined to doing both
That's
of them
actually
again.
a very good point, right?
You know, for
or
a
lower
cheaper
price for your second go through.
Like, buy one, get the next one 50% off, something like that. You're here for a week. When you do like the whole booking thing,
or not only that, but like, okay, I'm gonna do Jurassic Park, but I'm gonna come back, a month from now, and then you have like kind of like a ticket thing where you can come back and redeem or something that would make me want to come back. Because if I did Back to the Future first, and I had the experience that I had, I don't think that I would come back for Jurassic. I would have been curious, but then looking at the price tag, if you told me it's 40% off or something, I'm more inclined to just try it now, just to try it for that satisfaction.
Yeah, definitely.
But I'm glad we did Jurassic first.
Right. This
true.
is, with everything that they've announced in the past, couple of months, this is them dipping their toe into that destination and experience tagline that they just added. We talked about it on our podcast just last night with
Rush of Fear.
Yeah. You should
Nice
listen.
plug.
Thank you.
It's not really a shameless plug because it's a sister podcast.
Nice plug.
No, I'm saying it myself.
But they're dipping their toe and they're saying, okay, so we did this here. It's working well. What else can we do?
How do we add plus?
Right. If this is the starting line, what other levels and categories can we go to? What can we do in Las Vegas? So this has worked here. What can we do in Las Vegas? What can we do in Texas? What can we do in Hollywood? Hollywood is completely expanding their city walk. They just added a Tucson's. It's adding on to that destination and experiences tagline that they just created. What else can they do?
In theory, they could open these in
City Walk
malls outside of Universal pre-existing properties.
Because they all
destination experience.
It won't compete against. I know what you're about to say. It won't compete against an actual escape room, but the benefit that Universal has,
retheming the name though to make sure that people don't know it's an escape.
But the benefit that Universal has is they own these IPs and they can do that. So
I just want to something that's a little bit different.
Yes.
Yeah, but
closing thoughts. How about that?
Wrapping it up.
Closing thoughts is kind of unrelated, but related. When we were watching that video, and I remember I turned to you and I said, "Remind me to tell you something."
Yes.
So what I picked up on during we were watching that exposition video of how to play the game, they never once mentioned either of the IPs. They said in your rooms, in both of our rooms, you're about to enter a movie experience from our IPs.
Oh, sneaky.
So I feel like that
reuse the video
it could be repurposed if they were to change the IPs for the rooms.
Man, I would kill for a Fast and Furious room so. I want Vin Diesel telling me, we got to get the family together.
You have to fix cars.
The whole thing. You
get a bunch of tuners to come to do the room.
But this is actually the after party from the party that we just left.
It never actually happened.
Can you imagine they connect the ride to the room?
And the party
The party is
this
now.
is the room. But we have to go through all the specific additional parties to get to the real party.
All right. Anybody else have anything else they want to add to that? Or
I think comparing this to the Back to the Future ride, this felt more immersive, puts you more in the environments of Back to the Future. If you want to be in the movie of Back to the Future in the whole trilogy, this does that. Just know that
you come out frustrated.
The puzzles are frustrating, and it's going to be satisfying on a fan of the franchise level, but it's going to be unsatisfying as a fan of puzzle games.
Yes, that's what I was going to say, because Back to the Future is one of my all-time favorite franchises, and it totally hit those notes for me.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
As a fan
Music,
of the franchise.
everything.
And without spoiling anything, you do visit all the different timelines.
Yeah.
So that was fan service to me that hit
100%.
those high notes.
I think if you're a George Jetson that likes pushing buttons, you'll love this movie. Well, we are going to end this review, I guess.
Yeah.
We hope we didn't dissuade you or sway you one way or the other.
Try it out anyway.
Try it out, yeah.
If you
why
can
not?
do it, I definitely think that it's still worth it.
Yeah, none of the rooms are like, never do it.
No, I just go in with the expectations of, whatever we gave to you and run with it. It's still going to be great. You're still going to enjoy it. And
let us know what you think.
Yeah.
And have a fantastic time.
Yeah.
See you on the flippity flop. Well, hope you guys enjoyed that review. That covers both rooms now. And if you haven't heard our other review, Lee, what episode can they go check that one out at?
I don't know.
Perfect. Go back and listen to that one.
I have no idea. It was like...
It's probably like five episodes.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago, was it? I can't remember.
No, it's pretty recent.
Yeah.
But definitely it's when you hear both reviews, it's definitely interesting because it's not just two same rooms with just two different themings. It's definitely some have pros and cons, and hopefully we gave you some insightful information to make your decision on which one you want to do.
Well, I know Tracy hasn't listened to them, but obviously I've listened to both the reviews and having to edit them, and I don't know whether it makes me want to even bother. Like, not that you crapped all over it or anything, it just doesn't sound like it's worth the effort.
No.
Especially how expensive it is.
That yes, it adds to it. I mean, we've said this before, and I'll say it again. It is worth a visit. Now, which one? Again, listen to the reviews and make your decision there. If it was me, if I had to pick, it would be Jurassic World, just because I found that one to be a little bit more puzzle solving, maybe. But the Back to the Future room completely killed it when it comes to decor and like a storyline. I think I said it then, but as soon as I walked in, it's like, I want to watch this movie play out. But that's me. Like, I'm a huge fan of that, right? Yeah. I think one of the other party members that were there said storyline didn't make too much sense, maybe. But we still did our thing. But I still think you guys should try it out when you come down.
Of course. Like, we run a podcast. Of course we have to. But it just... Yeah. I think if I was on the fence about it as a guest not doing this podcast, it would make me think twice about laying out, because it's like $50, but it's not $50. It's $100 because it's two of us, or $200 if you want to do both. And then also, I suppose I don't know, because obviously, I don't know whether you and Alexa would go. Like, normally we'd get that group together. Like our group, but you've already been through it. I don't know whether you would want to pay that $100, $200 to go and do both of them again.
See, and not to sway you or any listener one way or the other, I would pay to do the Jurassic World over again, just because we want to push our score even further.
Yeah,
but that should give you an inclination of there was actually like a challenge for us to really try to push forward there, because we felt like we were doing something. Not mind-blowing escape roomism, but more than we got from Back to the Future. However, with that being said, the Back to the Future experience and all the rooms and decor, it's almost worth just paying to hang out and go through the different rooms, because it really, it has that universal level theming in there.
Okay.
They completely killed it in both rooms, really, but I think this one shines even more.
Okay.
But it's up to you to decide, you, the listener, as well.
Oh, exactly. We've always said with any review we do on the podcast, don't take our word for it because everyone's opinion of stuff is different. Go and check it out for yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I know from talking to briefly Michelle, she has no inclination of wanting to do them. From seeing people, I think it was very specifically Kayla Roebuck's review of going through it that made her like she has no interest in doing it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's interesting. It's strange.
Yeah. It's strange, and again, it's something that can definitely be tweaked and modified and kind of made better. I hope they don't get rid of it. I don't think they're going to get rid of it anytime soon, but I hope they can fix the problems. And again, we mentioned this on the review. The problems that they have, especially with the Back to the Future, are fixable. So it's not just like we created a ride that we can't do anything. No, they can change the experience up and make it even better. So
yeah, and I think they will do before they decide to can it. At least try and make that effort to change it before they just pull the plug on it. If it's not doing well, try and change it rather than just going, we're just going to cut our losses and.
Well, they've got to get. How long has it been open now?
A few months.
3 months.
4? Yeah, 3. Yeah.
It opened on like the 9th of December, didn't it?
They need to give it time, but they do need to look at what works and what doesn't and tweak it, like being saying. But it's got to cost them a pretty penny. So they can't just, after like 4, 5, 6 months, just go, no, just go shut the doors.
No, absolutely not. And the other thing that's kind of a bummer, well, it's kind of a good thing for some of us who like go in there because it's still kind of hidden, but it's the bar that's in there, the 2 bars and the lounge area is just a really cool spot to hang out. The bar is fantastic. The drinks are amazing and it's not busy there. So if you just want to go hang out with some friends, grab a drink and not have like massive noise going on, it's a fantastic spot to go to. So
cool.
Hope they keep all that around. Yeah.
Well,
that's the end of the podcast, and that means it's time for another Universal Is, and this one comes from Ralph Sharp, and we'd like you to get involved. So just let us know what you think Universal is in 3 words or less, and send them to podcasts@uuopodcast.com. But for this episode, Ralph says, Universal is my weekend getaway. Talk to you next time.
That was another episode of the Unofficial Universal Orlando Podcast, the best and only podcast about Universal Orlando on the island. Check us out on social media on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Pinterest. Just search UUO Podcast. For all the podcasts, news, and articles, check out our blog at uuopodcast.com. Contact us at podcast@uuopodcast.com. Join the Producers Club by emailing us at uuopproducers@gmail.com. Listen and subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and everywhere else podcasts are found. Check out our friends, the Theme Park Duo, for all your other theme park news, and email Michelle at portkeyvacations.net to book your next trip. So until next time, this is Amity 6, Call Off the Marines, we're coming home.